ago. Yeah. We're in bracket play, but the second that we take a look at this, we're back in the situation where one of these teams is going to be able to remain immortal and the other one's going to drop down to divinity. With the extra time, do you think that that does help Liquid?
I'd almost say it helps 5 men coming in.
Really?
Yeah, I think as a newer squad, like, there's sometimes going to be random holes in your drafts. Like, you have ideas of what you like in the meta, and sometimes you'll like go into a game and you can realize pretty quickly, like, oh, I don't like the way this is playing out in the first 5 minutes. And I think it showed. Their third game, game 1C, that is, they looked really good. They were convincingly ahead, right?
No, exactly that. But I think that the track record, if you look at the drafts, and why this Luna pick might enable 5 men is because Chessie, there you go, that's name completely skipped there. He was actually pretty much dumpstered in game 1 and game 2, mainly because his pick, like he picked Batrider, they picked Storm. Storm was like 1.7k net worth up on him. Next game, they pick Void Spirit, he gets visaged against him. Like they often picked his hero earlier in the hope to open up the map for Ace, but it just doesn't work out. He got so dumpstered that the game felt already pretty hard. Going into game 3, they adjusted that a little bit, and suddenly they're able to actually play a competitive game. So
they gave him Slardar versus Doom.
Yeah.
I know they ended up rotating the puck to mid instead of the Doom for Team Liquid, but it was Boxy playing the puck, which, to be fair, like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Boxy, but putting an offlaner in the mid lane against a mid lane, it's just not fair, right? Like, the mid laners are going to be better mechanically at the mid lane. So I want to point that out because Slardar absolutely owns Doom all throughout the game, and it also owns him in lane. So we already see here Team Liquid, who first rounded Doom and last time put it mid, or was planning to put it mid, already bans the second round Slardar. But so we're definitely seeing remnants of
learning
what
from the
learned,
series, But this is where, like, those bans, Slardar and Batrider, it's like these are heroes that are much better when you slot it later into the draft. And that's why I can see maybe why 5 men are valuing this opening. Again, the Earth Spirit as well, it was a natural pairing that 5 men ran with the Warlock before. Just double down on the team fight. Earth Spirit, he can buy the Veil as well. Then suddenly all of your heroes have increased damage. It's going to be insane. But Liquid's response to Luna is picking up that Shadow Demon position 5. It'll be very strong, of course, throughout the entire game. You have the Disruption to always take over the Luna. But
a backline jumper.
Yeah.
It is against the Rubik, though. They already have a 4 position that has an instant disable. So I'm not saying Puck instantly becomes bad because of that disable, but the fact is that's something that they would normally have to address if they don't already have it. But and I've been trying to preach this message of, like, every time you draft a pick, you need the opponent to respond to it. I think the Puck kind of responds to Shadow Demon, right? Anybody who gets disrupted is going to get silenced right out the gate. I was thinking Shadow Demon naturally sets up any illusion hero. Naturally, I think Terrorblade and Spectre are 2 of the best against Luna. Terrorblade just matches up well against Luna, and then Luna does not like carries who get up in her face, and Spectre, out of all the illusion heroes, does that very well. PL is not very good against Puck, so that one's kind of off the table. Naga's not exactly a hero right now. Just kind of listing through, like, yeah, you picked a Shadow Demon. Not only are you good against the Luna, but you usually want to pick some synergy there.
My fear is that 5 men are going to try and copy from what Liquid did against them and put this Puck into maybe that position 4 role. But I think that... No, sorry, position 3 role, but flexing
kind of,
exactly.
Like it's a 3.5. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. But my fear is that is something that's clearly practiced, you know? And 5 men, they've had 1 day to practice in between. I don't think they might be able to pull it to the same effect that Liquid has, which then means it's going to be a Puck mid. Which, sure, in most scenarios it can be fine, but we haven't really seen great success. Maybe only 1 or 2 games out of the amount we've seen.
I think why they value Doom so highly for Team Liquid, obviously it's a good hero, but they specifically have shown they're willing to flex it mid.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the time they get to their absolute last pick, they'll have pick of the lot with mids or off lanes. I think Doom will do absolutely fine in both lanes as of now, and at the very least you can put him mid. Like, I think with Luna in the picture, Spectre's nice, but I wouldn't mind having any hero that starts the fight that isn't a Doom. I don't really like the idea of a team fight breaking out with Doom into Haunt. Like, until Spectre gets, like, Diffusal or Scotty, that just sounds kind of mediocre. Because the hero's Doom, but then what?
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe 5 men go for this Beastmaster, because when I look at Liquid's lineup, it's...
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Why are you so mean? But anyway, Liquid, they don't have this overwhelming team fight that we've kind of coined this team to always kind of push for, right? Sure, they have, a little bit of Doom, but they don't have that control, that way to, contain the fight. And also, they don't really have much early damage, right? Like, if they're under pressure, if they're contesting that first Roshan, that Haunt value, not really there. Like, I think 5 men's lineup is actually, right now, for these 4 heroes, far superior. I think it's all on Koikova. If Koikova can have that early active hero that he's dominating with, then sure, it's back to Liquid's favor. But I'm actually favoring 5men for the ability just to play that early window of the game. And we saw in that game 3, they can contest Roshan really well and force the pressure, but they do make a lot of mistakes, and that's where Liquid overall is the better team because they're a little bit more consistent than 5men.
Very important to keep in mind when you're already starting to talk about who's going to be setting the tempo in this matchup. How do you move that into your favor, though, if you are Team Liquid, BSJ?
I think it really is going to come down to countering whatever lane they see last. Like, if they're going to see a puck mid, for sure, like, which they do, like, it could still be a 4 puck. If they see the puck committed to mid, then you're just like, okay, let's pick like a DK, you know, just counter it there. And I think not only is that like a lane counter, but it's also a pace of the game thing, which if they can do that, that's what I would like for them. I'm almost surprised 5men didn't ban out the DK. Seems pretty strong here, and I know Team Liquid's willing to play it. But I understand what they're going for, like backline damage dealing spellcasters. That's why they banned out the Zeus and the Invoker, but like there's definitely a theme to those 2 bans. Maybe they just think clear or like disruption for the Beastmaster summons is what Team Liquid are lacking. So if they don't get that, they could be struggling in fights.
Yeah, exactly. It's the rebuttal to early push, right? And it's why, like, when you look at Quirk of the Heroes right now, what heroes actually can do that? You know, he plays the TA, the Lunge, and now they pick DP
So
as
they do
well.
go 4 puck.
I think 5men have such a scary lineup. And for Liquid, maybe you could go for. I'm trying to think. Quap, maybe just a fight.
I was
but
gonna say, I was thinking Quap, but it's
yeah.
bad against puck, right?
Yeah,
like,
it
that's why
doesn't-
Quap is a counter to DP in lane, but it's not that great
in the game, exactly.
yeah.
But what else does he play? He plays like obviously.
I think you're doing Doom mid. I think you look for an offlaner that ties it up.
Underlord, is that available?
Yeah, I
Just slap it
was
off,
considering Underlord earlier, but I just don't think it's good enough.
Yeah, they just don't do anything. That's my fear right now. Is you need a hero that can make the moves for Liquid. I guess Kunkka could be the play.
Timbersaw?
Kunkka or Timbersaw, yeah, I think that those two suggestions.
I had already been thinking Kunkka as
Yeah.
well, so I'm down for Kunkka.
It's basically like a hero that can make
bad in
some
lane for
plays,
DP though.
park in front of a tower, and provide something to the fight, be it damage, soak, or at least setup. Because Liquid right now, they don't have anyone that naturally goes, I've locked this guy down here, and we are fighting. You know, they have lift, they have disruption, and other than that, that's it. So I think Liquid are.
I'm still down for Mars. Rubik Mars, pretty strong off lane. Pretty much all the cores of 5men die to the arena. It gives them a reliable way to commit with Haunt. Is Mars banned? They go Pango.
Pangolin is a more classic counter to push because you can itemize to, you know, rebuttal, but it's not a hero that has strong laning presence. So I'm still favoring 5men right now.
Wow, look at these odds, too.
They're naughty. Yeah. They got a lot worse. I think for the last series, when they did the fake drafts and no gameplay, it was like barely 3 for 5men. So they've gone a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like a pretty good time to bet if you're on EGB.com, but altogether, it seems like 5men just has the stronger team fight, is what you guys are pretty much saying. Yeah. How can Team Liquid try to come out on top of 5men? How can they actually try to pull off a victory?
I think it's about playing.
You go first.
Oh, okay, thank you. It's about playing for the reaction, you know. Let 5men overextend. Let them be the greedy team that they try to do. Like once they have an early lead, 5men they play a little bit disconnected. They have 2 heroes pushing, for example, and that's where the Spectre, the setup from the disruption or Pangolier role will allow them to always get these early kills. And then 5men they push as 5. If they're not 5, they just can't play. You know, they have to be a unit. So I think Liquid can just punish 5men going into that mid game, and if they do that, then they might be able to outscale. But I'm still a big fan of 5men's draft.
I'm like 95% sure 5men are like, it's their game to throw. Like,
Yeah.
I think if they play their lineup properly, they win this game.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
So I am shocked by those odds. And, you know, disclaimer, I'm not allowed to bet, but if I could, I would 100% take those damn freaking odds because 5men is getting disrespected with those odds for sure.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I think they're better than that.
Yeah, and on top of that, it seems like this is really going to be a game about picks. Let's see if Liquid's going to be able to sneak into the cracks of 5men.
That's right. You certainly shouldn't be disrespecting 5men like
How
this.
will
I
they get
think
on top of
the odds
5men?
definitely showcased something that was a little bit odd. Been a one-sided matchup, but
I couldn't keep
really
a straight
shouldn't show
face
it
for
like
like
that, right?
What did you say? I had something.
Yeah,
else
yeah, it's
happening.
okay.
I cannot hear it, but yeah, I completely agree with you. And my
Yes.
answer is that 5-man they have a much better lineup. They have Death Prophet. It's also last pick Pangolier into Puck and Beastmaster. So I'm not really feeling it.
I'm not feeling it all either.
I'm a Pango spammer, and I don't like to play into these two heroes. Whenever I see
You're a Pango spammer too?
I am.
My man. Hell yeah. Only the fun heroes are allowed. I was a bit surprised. I thought we were going to go for what felt like more of a Luna counter in like the Underlord, like you were suggesting. But maybe they just didn't feel good about it against this Death Prophet pick as well. Well, we're going to be heading into... I thought it was interesting. We actually get to see a Shadow Demon for once at a 4-position Shadow Demon at that. One of those classic counter picks to Luna, right?
Yeah, it's great against Luna. It's great against the Beastmaster. You have a save. You can use it offensively on Luna. Mostly we've seen position 5 Shadow Demons coming out from Virtus Pro.
All right, Bounty Rune time. See, Liquid, they tried to hide where their lanes were going to be because they're doing a full swap up here. They only just now show, but they still managed to get 2 different Bounty Runes. Doom is going to be playing the top lane against the Beastmaster. I guess the idea being that he has the Devour against the Boars, just a quick removal, and they're going to give the Pango the mid lane up against the Death Prophet. So they really want this Pango to come online a lot faster and get that early Rolling Thunder.
It's still a favorite matchup for Death Prophet. It's arranged against the melee. She uses Spirit Siphon. You need to use Swashbuckle to get away. And the new cast animation on the Crypt form is insanely good. It's much better than attack. You actually use it faster than attacking.
Okay, but does Doom have a really annoying taunt that you can spam over and over again to annoy your opponent? That seems to be Boxy's current strategy.
That's all you can do, pretty much.
In the meantime, he's just going to be watching the Death Prophet get some CS. Misery's going to be playing behind Zibe here in the Puck Beastmaster lane. It's another 4-position Puck, which feels like is coming back a bit. Whether it's through Liquid themselves, playing it as sort of a 3 mixed with a greedier 4, like they did with Taiga and the Sand King lane, is what they tried to do. You can see Boxy's really getting beaten up in this mid lane matchup, though, right now.
So he might get the levels, but I don't think Boxy will get that much farm in this lane, and it's going to get harder. As soon as that Prophet gets a second null tally, oh my god, we just got word from production. The servers crashed for the 4th time. No, they're not. I'm kidding. I don't know what this spot is for.
That's messed up, Lacoste. You're a bad man.
Imagine if it happens. Like, it has something to do. These two teams cannot play against each other.
It's just not allowed.
Maybe
You can't mix
logo
Liquid
related.
with 5 men.
Yeah.
It just gets too hot. All right. Okay, just a momentary pause. So interesting note, Boxy, who is playing the mid lane, Boxy's actually pretty proficient mid laner himself. He has a pretty interesting off lane style, and maybe that's some of that comes down to how he is in the mid lane. Ultra aggressive. I actually, during the DreamHack Major, Na'Vi and Liquid are matching up against each other, and they decided to have a little 1v1. Zibe, hold up.
Zibe's dead.
Yeah, he's just going to get run down. That's going to be your first blood, and he eats the board. Just the +1 there for Koifa.
I don't think this top lane's putting much pressure, especially the way they set up the lanes. Doom's just going to eat the boar. Puck has position 4. Like, he doesn't do as much as Rubik. Rubik just feels like one of the best position 4s at the moment. So 10-5 against A3. Boxy still holding up, but it's going to become much harder. I also want to see what kind of item he's going to go for. Like, can he actually get the bottle? If he gets the bottle, oh, he's still 300 gold away from it. Might need to bring some extra regen. Chessie just continues to pressure him.
Don't be angry.
Nice deny there. Chessie may have to burn through that healing self. But yeah, Boxy played up a 1v1 against Magical back when he was on Na'Vi. TA versus TA matchup. And Boxy actually walked away with the winner. He managed to get the kill on Magical. It's apparently a really close one-on-one. But he managed to do it.
Yeah, Lamido's same heroes mid. 1 versus 1, best of 3s. You said TA against TA?
Yeah, that's a Magical hero too. Zibe in some trouble here, is going to die again. And you're absolutely right, Lacoste. This is just not the matchup that I think they were hoping it to be. What about the other side of things, though? Because I feel like Spectre's not going to be too happy with her lane.
Yeah, she's sitting at the 10 CS. Luna pretty much free farming. They already have the sticks in this lane against the Shadow Demon, of course. So every single time you get a charge, it's more mana to use the Lucent Beam. I mean, Spectre, usually you see her on the safe lane, so she gets the extra regen from the tower and the armor as well. Even though her base regen is high, still the pressure from Warlock and Luna is... like, they might need to switch the lanes at one point, because top lane is just a disaster for 5 men.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, who's going to break first? Is it going to be Mickey being like, okay, Koifa, you got your farm. I hope you're happy, but, like, we need to switch things up because I'm suffering a bit. Or if it's going to be Zibe and just be like, this lane is hell. I can't get anything done. Please, can we switcheroo?
They even have Ring of Basti in this lane for extra spamming. You use Fatal Bonds on a creep wave. Look at Mickey. Just using the dagger defensively.
Boxy. So you have a Swashbuckle. Looks like he doesn't want to blow it just yet. He's just going to die. Jesse. Big kill there. At the same time, Taiga did manage to kill Pylai Die, as I believe Mickey was spamming him with daggers the entire time. So it looks like Taiga just found an opening. Got the kill. I got a chance to play with Mickey a little bit, and let me say that he is one of the most malleable cores that I've ever played with in my life. He just seems to effortlessly just be like, whatever mistakes I make, he just kind of like works around it. You know, like I rotate to the wrong side of the map, no worries. He heads to the other side, he'll pick it up. He seems like a player who is able to, unlike most carries, is able to deal with kind of a crap lane.
And that's very rare in Dota, having a player like that. Zibe will TP out back to tier 1 tower. He also has a point in the Axis. Interesting. I'm not sure why. Usually we don't see that. Like, you want to max out your aura, especially when you have a lineup like this. Luna in the team. That Prophet, you want to be pushing for objectives.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. And just the one level at that, like, I wonder if it was like some sort of range creep CS or something.
You just got it to get last hit on 1 CS, that's it. You're not going to use it ever again. Now, maybe he's preparing for once Rubik gets level 6, so then he can't steal the Boar, Hawk, or the ulti. Okay, maybe that's it, because I don't see the reason why he would actually get it.
Yeah.
But then if you wanted to go for it, you just get it on level 5. Nah, this is the build, actually, because you want to have 3 points in Board, 3 points in Hawk,
yeah.
and then have 1-3-1.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Or maybe he just misclicked.
Well, if 5 men do manage to come out on top of Liquid, maybe we'll get that chance to hear from them in the interview. We're going to see Ace get gone on with the disruption. A lot of Shadow Poison stacks here. They get the 5th one. It's going to be a decent amount of damage with the dagger, too, but looks like it's probably not enough here. Oh, okay. Taiga misread that situation.
Yeah.
Tried to go for the TP out. Instantly denied by Ace.
It's such a low cooldown on that ability. Like, you feel, I might be able to TP out, it doesn't happen. That Prophet getting drums as a first item, interesting. I think we talked about it on the panel a couple of times. Like, what do you buy with the first 1,500 gold? Boxy, no point in silence.
You're just going to roll on out of there.
They see me rolling, they don't care, because I'm not doing anything with it. That's a big stack.
Yeah, you'll get Ocean Heart out of it. Not too bad for the mid laner, and melee mid laner at that, who's probably going to be spending a lot of time in that river.
This item is only good if you get it at 7-minute mark. If you get it anything after that, it just, you don't get much value out of it.
I remember we had this discussion last time we casted, and I'm like, I like it. Granted, I play a bunch of 4 positions that roam around the map, clockworks and such, but
if you see someone standing in the river, you know, you don't have to pause the game to think that your teammate is AFK. Maybe he's just regening with the Ocean Heart.
yeah.
Doom is level 6, and he has a Ghost. Some extra slow. to slow them down, and he's chasing. Also, he got the drums, even though drums got nerfed. 2 less stats on the item, still very good. And they find Faded Brooch. Like, this is the item you want to get on your Doom.
All that extra movement speed helps out his mana issues. They're going to put that first Doom to use here. See if the deny goes off. I see Zibe nearby. Looks like he tried to go for it with the boars, but too much damage too quickly. And, well, he just plays a little bit back and lets the creep wave push in because of the Scorched Earth.
I'm pretty sure Misery is saying right now, guys, they don't have a Doom. This is good. I died, but deep down inside, he's like, man, I hate this guy. He should have not used Doom on me.
Never again. Never play with Quaitha again. What are we going to be seeing from Boxy's mid-Pango build, by the way?
I think he's just playing the mid lane, so the Doom has a much better game. That's the only reason, so we might see like the classic offlaner style.
Yeah, just pick up a Vlad's at some point. I was just curious, because he got 1,300 gold right now, and it seems like even he doesn't quite know what to do. If he wanted an early Javelin, try and take advantage of the extra bit of farm he got, he would have bought it already.
There's a lot of magical damage from 5 men. Maybe just tank up, like getting Lotus Orb at one point. Vlad could is the item build in my
really
opinion.
Fast move coming in here. The Spectre ult's going to go off, but they're going to head right into a Golem. But with a roll in from Boxy, he's going to be able to disrupt things a little bit. They should be able to finish off Zibe here. Chessie, though, can still play into this, especially with the Spirit Siphon charges he still has up. Boxy staying on top of him here, but he has to back away from this Golem. It does too much damage.
So 5 men will not get too much out of this first DP ulti. I mean, they got the Doom, but that's pretty much it. No tower damage whatsoever, and they're using the Glyph, so no damage will be done.
Boxy trying to get away here, silenced up. Chessie on the run here. Swashbuckle back, and it's just the haste of Misery that could keep up.
Big stack. Whenever I see someone having like 2,000 gold and he's not spending it, I'm afraid that he's gonna get something like Boots of Travel or Hand of Midas.
If you're sitting on that much gold, you must be thinking about some sort of greedy item. Mech, okay, not greedy at all. Full out team fight. He's gonna go just the normal offlane build as you suggested. Just try and get some team fight and sustain items for the boys. Guardian Greaves, pretty value here. I mean, they're gonna have to, there's going to be this constant problem of the silences coming out from 5 men, both from the Death Prophet and the Puck.
Still playing with the Catapult, putting some pressure. How's Taiga doing? He's level 5 Shadow Demon, 11 minutes in, so no ulti yet. Also not putting any skill points in Soul Catcher, interesting. Like, it depends. You're playing a position 4 Shadow Demon, so you want to have that Shadow Poison. I've seen position 5 Shadow Demons when solo plays it, does not even get it. He just goes 4-4-0. But in this situation, you're also playing against Luna, so you want to have Disruption maxed out.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe if you had like, if you had a Tiny Core or something that works a little bit more off of burst damage, the Disruption may have considered that, but I think you're right on the point. Taiga, he'll start making himself some more stacks here.
Oh, that's a triple stack.
Ooh, delicious. 13 stacks already from Team Liquid. I feel like they're the team that may stack the most in the European League. It's kind of crazy how much they just constantly pay attention to that.
Someone posted it, and I think they're not even in top 3. But
really?
Yeah, I think so. But they for sure stack quite a lot compared to some other teams. You know, they really love to fall back onto those stacks, even if things are not going well in the laning stage. You just have something to do at any time in the game.
So you remember who number 1 is?
I don't remember.
Okay,
but maybe production can check the stats and give it to us if they have the info and technology.
Oh,
First
no!
roar.
A roar out onto an illusion. Mickey, he's going to have to give up this tower. Oh, a TP in from Insania. That's a bit curious. I thought they were definitely just giving up this tower. It looks like they still want to fight over this area, even with the tower gone, because you've got this 3-man smoke cutting through the river, looking to be able to sandwich 5 men in. See if they can catch him out. Already slowing down Ace, but look at Golem coming in with the Fatal Bond. See Eclipse going down, and they have to retreat immediately. Try and get rid of some of this damage. The Rolling Thunder does manage to go off, but he's got to just roll the hell on out of here, because that was a disaster of a team fight for Team Liquid. It did cost 5 men a lot. They've blown Exorcism, Golem, and now Eclipse.
Yeah. What happened in the previous fight? They used 2 or 3 ultis just to get 1 kill, but pretty even game. They just show that their team fight is much stronger than Team Liquid's right now. Like, you have Puck, there's not gonna be any BKBs anytime soon. You have Luna, a lot of magical damage plus DP. They have actually 5 long cooldowns on side of 5 men, but if they can cycle them, they can still keep fighting even, without having all 5.
Yeah, and we've seen Liquid abuse long cooldowns before, but we'll see if they're able to pull it off here against 5 men who, I mean, if they have all their abilities up, like, it just feels like 100% they have the superior team fight. If they have abilities up, then it seems like it's going to come entirely down to Liquid's initiation, right? If they get a good Pango roll in, get a good Doom off on somebody before any ults go out.
I'm afraid for Pangolier. Like, he's playing into Puck Coil, 2 silences, Beastmaster Roar, and the Rock. So they have 2 abilities that go through magic immunity. He's going straight for Guardian Greaves just to tank things up and have a dispel for himself against those silences and Fatal Bonds.
Yeah, that's super awkward, right? Against the silences, you feel like you have to Rolling Thunder a lot more conservatively. But if you do so, it just means the team sees you coming, and then you're just an easy target for that Roar. So you're not going to get on top of anybody, very likely. It's quite the conundrum he's going to be in. Oh, look at this run in onto Ace. This is a really big kill if they can get it. Slow him down with the Purge, with the Rolling Thunder, bouncing back and forth. Should be an easy pickup with the last
stick.
Poison. Oh no, Liquid. A bungle and a half. What was that?
Insania just went away. He did not want to use another beam. I guess he did not want to secure the kill.
Liquid coming in hot and heavy. Coming for 5 men. Zibe, he's going to be the target here of a quick sandwich there from Liquid. Just an easy kill. Nothing really big expended, though. Gotta respect the little things still. Lacoste is now we're gonna use something a little bit bigger. Both the coil and the exorcism gonna go off here onto, and he snaps the coil. Mickey, who's dead one way or another. So he pretty much hangs himself on the rope that he let out.
Now with the exorcism going, it's a level 2 exorcism. So the spirits or the ghosts double. So that's kind of a pretty big deal. And they also have a catapult to push things in.
And it looks like we might just be able to get this off-lane tier 1, 100-0, without any response.
5 man needs to plant some aggressive vision on the enemy side of the map. Right now they only have 1 ward in the river and 1 on their side, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, I want to see a smoke when their ultis are up and just try to plant the wards, get the fight going on.
Yeah, I like the fact you pointed out they have no offensive vision right now. Because Liquid, most likely, whenever they see these ultimates used, it's like, okay, it's a nice smoke timing, you know? And if you have that aggressive vision, you're more likely to be able to sniff that out. But it seems like Liquid are more so are just playing for late game at this point in time, just continually stacking up neutrals, trying to prevent the loss of towers, and trying to get everybody big, because they can't really fight until they have their BKBs.
Yeah, they really can't.
They've already got 1. That's going to be on the Doom. I say 1. That's probably the only BKB we're going to be seeing as the other 2 cards are Pango and Spectre.
Yeah, these heroes don't really buy BKB. Spectre buys 1 when she's playing against Viper. There's no Viper in this game, no point to buy it. And I love this build on like your position 4s or 5s when one of those get Veil. Increasing magical damage with the Puck, Luna, Fatal Bonds, it's insanely good.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Super value as well with the support that can initiate the fight as well, so you get it off at the very start. He's going to jump in, coil, pop the Veil, and then everyone's just going to rain hell inside of that little circle. Liquid, Koifa boosting on in, see if he can find somebody, but they're all gone. So Liquid might just be able to get this freebie here. But similarly to Liquid, 5 men are thinking about trying to re-engage even after their tower is dead, see if they can catch Liquid
Radiant
off
are
guard.
scanning.
The cavalry has arrived.
No such luck though. Liquid playing the far right side, also Doom usually being the one between, uh-oh. Now they did just kind of loosen up a little
Nick
bit.
is
Now
alone
5 men,
again.
they're going to plow right in. They're going to be able to catch the Spectre here. And once again,
BKB.
Coil Exorcism, and they're going to use the Golem here. That is heavy commitment to make sure Mickey does go down.
Insania steals Exorcism, TP's back to the base straight away, but you know, that's your position 5.
Yeah.
Rubik, if they see that Exorcism, like they're just gonna burst him down, no doubt about it. He is sitting on less than 1000 HP. Not a single item going for Etherlands, I believe. So nothing that he can take care of himself.
3 big ultimates used. Liquid not afraid to fight back against 5 men as they entreat into the jungle.
And I love this build on Warlock. 2-2-4, upheaval is his strongest spell. No doubt about it. If you think differently, you're wrong. Because this spell, you know, especially in some clutch areas around the Roche Pit, like you can just change the whole fight, and you don't get the talent, especially if you're not maxing out your Fatal Bonds.
Yeah, Upheaval is just, it's kind of one of those crazy, crazy abilities that people are like, yeah, it's good, but, you know, of course, I'm using my Shadow Word early on, so I want that maxed out. Or, oh, look at all the damage that Fatal Bonds could do. But Upheaval straight up wins fights for you. May not be the flashiest, but...
Especially if the team does not have mobile heroes or BKB builders, and they only have one BKB, as we already mentioned.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be real tough for the supports especially to be able to play around that. Smoke up here. Not waiting for the Blink Dagger on Koifa, even though he is close. They could use that extra initiation. Nope. Disruption into the Rolling Thunder. That's going to be a pretty nice chain stun that should result in a kill. And with that Exorcism usage, they might be able to just blitz down this mid tower nice and quick before 5 men has a response.
Are fortified.
I love that Insania just uses ulti. He understands that he's very fragile, so, you know, let's just push the tower. They got a kill on position 4 Puck. And that Puck is getting close to Aghanim Scepter. He's just 2 components away. What triggers me is having that Ring of Regen and just a casual circlet, not upgrading those.
Yeah, just... that is the ultimate support efficiency there. When you're going for the big item, and you're like, once I finish all the components of this big item, I'll have a slot left, and I can put that circlet back in and then build it into something. Or who knows? Maybe it's his rainy day fund. You know, he gets a little bit short of the Aghanim Scepter, or Liquid's about to run down your mid lane. Time to sell it all.
And we discussed about Shadow Demon's build, and yeah, he went for that 4-0-4 build with the ulti and the talent. Also, Etherland's cast range, Shadow Demon's insanely good. So lower cooldown, more damage on Disruption if you use it on Luna. Seems like they just want to get the Roche.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's went Etherland's Blink Dagger too. It's so important to get on top of this Luna at the start of a fight. At 5 men, currently only 4 inside of the Roshan pit, but well disguised. Just being able to gang up on this Roshan, and Liquid will not have a response fast enough. Baiting out the haste rune, perhaps. Taiga gets the disruption, managed to haste himself away. Doom, meanwhile, jumping inside the pit, but did not manage to get either the Roshan or the Aegis.
Even without DP ulti, they can still try to go for tier 2 tower. 40 seconds without Doom. I mean, BKB, yeah, it's good, but still, there's 2 BKB piercing abilities in this game.
Yeah, this is the scary part of any Beastmaster lineup is going to give you good pushing power constantly. Boxy's going to roll in, though, starting off on Ace with the Disruption Illusions on him. This is looking real bad for the carry of 5 men. They're going to lose their Aegis right away underneath the tier 2. Here come the rest of 5 men, though. They need to be able to bail out their carry. Ace knows there is no BKB piercing disables with the Doom still dead.
very bad positioning coming out from 5 men where they were pretty split. There was no DPLT, no roar, so they need to be playing more carefully and play around the Warlock's Golem, try to protect him.
Yeah,
Liquid did an extremely good job, you know, just jumping on top of him with the Boxy. He understands that he either forces him to use a rock on himself, which is not super efficient, or he just dies before.
running into him. Oh, he managed to get the Centaur stomp before Misery could respond. He doesn't want to blow the Doom, but he finally realizes they're just not going to have the damage without it. And Misery says, Quintha, you son of a bitch.
Well enough.
Second time here. 9 kills for Team Liquid, but down 2,000 net worth against 5 men. As you could see, a lot of that is on the Luna. She's getting really big.
She's big, but, you know, she's playing into Shadow Demon, which means as you're getting stronger, so is Shadow Demon. And I want to see the big brain plays coming out from Taiga. I've seen him do it before, where he just uses Illusion to get the bait. Same goes when you have Illusion Escape. Try to make Illusion on one of your teammates, even on yourself, because he is the highest primarily target, actually, to take out before the fight starts.
Yeah, just kind of like position it somewhere down the lane, see if they make some sort of coil initiation or something. Anything to burn through those long cooldowns would be very value. There's the Blink Dagger for Taiga. And Sania also getting a good amount of farm. You see the supports, they're getting so much farm because they're taking a lot of the lane. They're actually pushing out the lanes while because their supports are playing so heavily around all of these neutral stacks. And they just sort of wait for 5 men to come to them.
Mickey with the crown did not upgrade it, you know, just showing who the king is.
Now the question is he wearing the crown or keeping it in his backpack?
It's in the inventory, so he's wearing it.
Good, good. Got to keep it visible.
If it's in the backpack, you're king's heir, right?
Yeah. That makes sense to me. Scotty almost done. Well, about halfway through, let's say, for the Spectre. Need a bit more. And it looks like 5 men, they're mounting up here. See if they can bring Liquid to their knees before the Spectre gets a little bit too big.
I see a lot of green dots on the top of the map, a lot of sentries, but still no observer boards. I mean, they should be the one controlling the vision with the Hawk, with the Necro units. They just don't see that area of the map at all.
Okay. Haste Rune to make some use out of. Oh, these are going to be really big timings if they. Okay, there it is. Already the MKB for the Pango. The Butterfly is there for the Luna at the same time. So already kind of being countered by Boxy. But it's not like Boxy, I think, in a whole lot of fights is going to be manning up, right-clicking the Luna a lot of times. But he will put out some hefty damage with the Swashbuckle. Rotating down to the bottom lane behind Misery here. They see Mickey. He's been caught by the Hawk. He was hiding inside the trees, and Misery played dumb until the rest of his team could be there. What a beautiful pickoff.
I said they need to control the vision, but they are controlling the bottom area, and this is a pretty big kill. They can't get anything out of this. They can try to go for a tier 2 tower, but that's pretty much it. There's no Roche at the moment. Beastmaster wants to get a Crimson Guard as his next item. This is the item that we usually don't see. Maybe if there's like a Broodmother on the enemy team, if you have a mid laner that you have someone like a, let's say, a Centaur or Beastmaster, so you need to rush it. Oh, big and
The Golem into the Fatal Bonds. They try and get off the Primal Roar. They're denied, but so too is the Rolling Thunder. Pioxy, he gets it off barely. And they do manage to run down Zibe here. They're fighting underneath this upheaval, but Koifa doesn't give a damn. He's got his BKB. He's big, bad, and he's coming for Ace. But Ace, he's going to fight back. The 5 men, they try and take on Liquid, but they are denied as Ace goes down. Can Chessie now come through and save this fight? Look at the counter upheaval from Insania. He's slowing down Chessie a bit by bit, letting the rest of his team run away, while he will be consumed, gobbled up by the ghosts.
So 2-for-2 trade. Liquid still chasing. Mick at full HP.
Another stomp. It catches Misery again before he can phase shift. He gets off the coil though, and Chessie, he still has the remnants of his ultimate. Misery is even surviving now. They get off the disruption, they finish off Misery, but the exorcism is doing so much damage to Mickey, and he can't get out. Lacoste, he can't get out. He's stuck. That upheaval, it wins you fights.
5 men just squeezing the life out of Team Liquid there. You know, I think they got overzealous with the Spectre. Like, they had 2 heroes, almost full HP. We can do this, but that Prophet ulti was used a bit late because she was not there at the start of the fight.
He's manning up right now, though. I don't think those 5 stacks will do enough, but it does force out the BKB from Chessie. So as you said, 5 men able to squeeze the life out of Liquid, almost getting that last drop. But Taiga did manage to slip away.
Yeah, barely got away. Taiga's doing so much work in these team fights. And I feel like they did not check the timer when Spectre's respawning. It looked pretty chaotic the way 5 men approach this team fight. Luna, they need to take care of Luna. They only have a Glimmer Cape, that's it. They need to be using on her if they get a good initiation from Liquid.
Yeah, the Satanic would do a lot of wonders for Ace. As so many times it feels like he's just kind of being run down. Fortunately, Chessie, they have this nice setup where they've got so much extra farm on both the Death Prophet and the Luna. They've kind of got 2 carries right now.
We can see the odds, 130. Team Liquid, 326 for 5 men. That's very surprising considering how this game is going. Full Aghanim Scepter on Puck, which means more coil duration. And I think Ziba is going for the correct item. We talked about that Crimson Guard. I think he's just preparing for right-click coming out from his own Luna.
Oh, okay. I was like thinking, you know, usually you see Crimson Guard on the other team against a Luna or a Gyrocopter or something like that. But yeah, that makes more sense. I could dig it. Can you dig it, Lacoste?
I can dig it, yeah. You know, sometimes you see an item, maybe you're too dumb to understand why he's doing it. I'm the one who, I think, talks the most about the items, and sometimes, you know, I flame people, but Zibe, I think, in this particular situation, he's doing an extremely good job, just staying one step ahead.
Yeah. Hey, there's the Scotty from the Spectre, so big upgrade in stats for her, as well as the fact that we've got now that healing reduction that's going to be placed on the Death Prophet, and even affect perhaps this Luna, and since she's building into the Satanic.
Misery has same amount of farm as the offlane Beastmaster, which is pretty insane. I think 5 men, they just wait for Satanic and then take a fight. Like, it's like having a secondary life once you have that item, and they're very limited on the lockdown on side of Team Liquid.
Yeah, or maybe even a tertiary fight, as they could pick up the Aegis as well and be stacked to gills on lives on Luna. Ooh, an Aghanim Scepter for the Rubik. All right, so what are all the sick plays we can make here? Grab Coil would be obviously really, really good, as would be Eclipse.
Wait, how did he farm Aghanim Scepter?
Yeah.
He had Ether Lens like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and he was like, I guess I'll get a Blink Dagger in 5 minutes. All of a sudden, Aghanim Scepter.
Plus a Telescope. This is the dream position 5 Rubik game.
It really is. Liquid. Koifa. It's a little bit of deja vu. He's going to go into the pits as they're doing it.
He has buyback.
You saw Taiga? He thought about the disruption, decided against it with a buyback coming in, though. They're going to try and get on top. The Warlock does manage to get off his ultimate right before he goes down to the Spectre. But now this Rolling Thunder, it is stunning up Misery, and they're doing a lot of damage to Ace as well. They can finish off Ace and be really big. They throw their Doom at him. Looks like they're going to be able to chase him down pretty easily. Now comes down to Chessie to be able to win this fight out with the Exorcism, as Taiga cuts off Ace to make sure there's no chance in hell that he is getting out. To hell he will go. 2 people dead. Chessie with the TP out, the BKB. Ooh, he timed that just perfectly. There was a quarter second left of that BKB.
So they blow 2 big ultis, and the DP's ultis was already running inside the Roche pit. Great bait from Koika. He understands, like, I might be, you know, this carry Doom. I'm going in. I have a buyback. There's still a tier 2 tower to TP to. I'm going to do it. So they used 2 big ultis just to get rid of Doom. And Team Liquid, once again, they approach a team fight properly from the proper angle.
Yeah, Taiga even thought about disrupting up the Doom.
Yeah,
and that fight, and he was like, no.
Screw it.
Yeah, just let him buy back and let me focus on the Luna instead. Yeah, just a really well put together team fight from Liquid, and it only takes one. I think that's the scary part, is like once Liquid do win one team fight, you get this sick feeling in your stomach if you're 5 men, where you're like, oh god, we lost one team fight against the Spectre. What is the next one gonna look like, you know?
Pay attention, boys and girls. Mickey just bought a dust for himself, so he wants to be able to jump on Vorlog. He's putting that crown in the backpack. What a king.
What a king indeed. Make sure he doesn't drop it. Ooh, an Aghanim Scepter for the Shadow Demon. Jesus. These supports are actually getting so much farm on the side of Liquid, and they're going to be really impactful with it, too.
Multiple charges, break against Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good.
Yeah, this is going to be really nice. And it's up to 5 men. They can no longer let Liquid get that initiation. They can no longer allow them to start the fights. They need to be able to get on top of Liquid right away. Telekinesis, push back, Guardian Greaves off the Silence here, trying to get on top though. A Silence comes in from the Death Prophet, but Boxy's just fighting it out here underneath the Exorcism. Meanwhile, he's trying to chase down the supports. It's Chessie. He might be able to get Insania Disruption. It's going to be able to buy him a little bit of time. The Primal Roar out onto Taiga as well. Turn around, Primal Roar out from Insania is going to be able to stall up Chessie while the cores of Liquid are pushing forward, trying to also go for the back line, but the Warlock, it's slowing him down so much. That damn upheaval, Mickey says enough with it. They managed to bring him down. Chessie still had free reign. Both sides are like, screw the supports. That's what they focused on. Fortunately, Ace was able to get away because of the sacrifice from Pylai Die.
5 men, they want to kill Taiga first. Shadow Demon, he's doing so much, but if they can also bring Doom down before he can get the ult off, then their Luna is going to have a good time. Every single time he just goes on her. Like, that's the target for KoiKoi in this game. He's not too afraid of Puck. Dead Prophet just wants to take out Luna so she can't use the items.
Now the net worth dead even. Ashiva's up for Koifa. That's going to be a very big armor item. More healing reduction there as well. Are you, at this point, Lacoste, how would you evaluate this game, percentage-wise, between these two teams? Do you think it's even like the net worth is, or do you still feel like an advantage because of 5 minutes? Like, I mean, they still have crazy good team fight potential, right?
For sure, but now looking how this game developed, score pretty even, net worth pretty even as well. I'd still favor Team Liquid at the moment, 70-30 my guess.
Just because the Spectre is getting big enough now, right?
Spectre's, you know, she's got level 20 talent, extra HP, has a full Scotty. They also have Shiva's Guard, so that healing coming out from Vorlog. Dead Prophet, Luna Satanic. It's really not going to be that great.
And once he gets out of... Oh, God. I had to play against this the other day. Abyssal Blade, Spectre with the dust always on him. You're just dead as a fight position. Every single haunt, he's going to pop it. He's going to jump you. You think, oh, Glimmer Cape, he dust.
Yeah, but the Magic Wand, like... This is something that top tier carry does. Like Miracle's also the one that has the dust in his backpack, understands that, you know, your support as position, let's say Rubik and Shadow Demon, they're not in the front lines. They can't use the dust. It does not reach Warlock, who's also sitting in the back lines.
Yep. Meanwhile, that Spectre, she can just get right in there on 5 men, and we're going to have some tier 4 items. Okay. Some important pickups. What would be really big for either side?
Dire are scanning.
What would be big?
I think Timeless Relic on like Puck is pretty insane.
It is. For now, he's just holding.
Oh, they're going to try and catch Boxy here. Speaking of that, there goes the initiation from the Spectre. At the same time, Disruption to be able to bail Boxy out. Koifa gets in there with a BKB. Couldn't get off the Doom, though. A really good roar out. He's surrounded by the Exorcism. Koifa will finally get off the Doom, but he has to run away. The Exorcism Ghosts are chasing him, but Mickey, he's focusing on this Death Prophet. No, he's not. He's supposed to get on Ace instead. While Boxy deals with the Death Prophet, they are just getting wiped out. Liquid are heating up, and now they're going to be able to, very hot Liquid is just going to inject into the side of 5 men with 4 dead, no buybacks. They're just going to go straight through, penetrate the tier 3. They could even go potentially for the full thing here,
Yeah, they can actually try to go and end the game. Spectre's level 24. This is not the greatest initiation. They try to go for Doom, did not bring him from 100 to 0 in a second. Also, sorry, Pango, and they also used the Warlock ulti on top of that. Doom still got the ulti off. Luna, I did not see Luna using ulti in quite some time. Most of the time she was just doomed. She has buyback, but I don't think you want to buyback here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Like, if you buyback, you die. The game is just straight up over. You don't have damage.
Yep. And Liquid, if they're not going to go for the throne, if they're just going to go for the 2 lanes of barracks, that's fine. You still have the tier 2 up at top, but it is looking like a dismal affair either way for 5 men. Oh, Boxy gonna make sure they catch Misery as he tries to jump out a little bit outside the base to clean up some creeps.
Misery is extremely farmed, and I think it gives him false sense of security that, you know, he can do all this stuff, but he does not have a defensive item. It's just the Blink Dagger phase shift.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
So 2 set of barracks. Next Roche may respawn in a minute and a half.
Okay, that's pretty much the last stand there for 5 men. They have to be able to fight Liquid around that Roshan pit and get themselves Aegis Cheese. And then this will be the 3rd Roshan, right? So Refresher or Aghanim Scepter?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, that's the 3rd one. I just saw Kyle entering and my IQ lowered by 50, so I couldn't.
All right, I'll try and speak a little bit slower for you. So 5 men, game good or bad?
5 men, bad game at the moment.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
Radiant are scanning.
Here's the Abyssal Blade. I also saw Aeon Disc. I'm presuming that was Liquid.
Taiga, I believe.
Okay.
He had one queued up.
Okay.
Divine Rapier queued up on Lina. Still needs 2.5k gold. I mean, this is the play that you need to go for. Otherwise, like, you need to risk it.
You got to go in for the all-in play with Roshan. If you can get Divine Rapier and the Aegis, then anything's possible from there. Liquid. Disappear from the map. Smoked up. You're going to head into the Roshan territory here. Oh, there's a tier 4 item. Can't leave that behind. That's going to be a Timeless Relic for Insania. No, they gave it to Taiga. They have... So they actually don't have any vision on this side. Liquid, what they do is they have the Spectre show in lane while the rest of the team is playing around this Roche pit.
This Bangalore is massive. Level 25 Radiance, Octarine Core, Vittless Shackle, 4,000 HP. Like, I don't think they can kill him.
He's proved to be a lot tankier than I expected in these team fights. You know, he just like is standing there so often against the Death Prophet underneath this Exorcism, and he just is able to tank so much. Granted, Witless Shaco does amazing things for you, but even before he had that item, he was able to go and be the focus of a lot of attention from 5 men without going down.
Puck going for Aghanim Scepter. They're very close to that Divine Rapier, but they don't have it. And the Refresher. This is the last set of barracks. Zibbe with the wraparound. Wants to get a good jump on Shadow Demon.
And they just kind of poke. Take the tier 2. They're going to back up now. Zibbe's positioning. Sadly, he will not be able to make use of it here. Do they have another smoke is the question for me for 5 men. Because I don't think they can give up this Roche, right?
I mean, they get the Roche. You just lose the game. And it's also Aghanim Scepter.
They're rushing in fast. Mickey, they're actually going to stop doing Roshan here. They're not going to overcommit for it. Make sure they don't get caught inside the pit where Golem and Upheaval would be massive chesty. He's going to pop it. He's level 25 as well, so with that haste, he's going to be able to run down a lot of heroes. They
There's
turn
the
around,
Aeon Disc
Roar out onto him. The Aeon Disc popping out of Taiga is going to allow him to disengage, and all of a sudden this Death Prophet, she's taking so much damage, and Mickey has already cleaned up the Warlock as well. And now he's going to come in, finish off the 5 men. They do have the buyback on Ace, but it looks like very few others as just not getting the chance to fight around the Roshan pit like they really wanted to. Liquid very smartly popping out, taking a much more even fight for themselves and making use of that gigantic net worth lead that they have now.
I think you just call this game, even though you have Luna, you know, very close to Divine Rapier, Misery buying back, last set of racks standing. Another buyback from Luna. One more fight, but without 2 heroes, it's gonna be tough.
Oh, there goes the Eclipse, but you can see Boxy quickly shakes it off, is able to swashbuckle out. They'll finish off this Megas here. The repair kits only slowing things down. The 5-man base about to take a pounding, and 5 men, not much they can do to stand up to it.
I mean, when it's time to call it, it's time to call it.
That's my favorite Lacoste quote.
It is.
It is indeed time to call it. That's what 5 men do. Game 1, they give in.
It's just a much better execution coming out from Team Liquid in this.